Trust the process. Pain is power. All great things take time. I am unbreakable. Unbreakable. Unbreakable.
Hello everyone, welcome to the Unbreakables podcast, episode 16. I am your host, Jay, and this is my brother and my co-host, Gift the Poet.
Episode 16, we have the IFBB PRO League Fitness legend. She is an 8-time fitness Olympia.
2-time Tampa Pro Champ.
In 2001, she reached stardom, placing first place in the Arnold Classic Fitness International. That same year in 2001, she was a runner-up in the Olympia. However, 2 years later in 2003, she decided to make a decision, take a step back from the limelight to really focus on personal training, celebrity clientele.
Such as Rockstar Lenny Kravitz,
Major League Baseball player Alex Rodriguez,
and Live Fit's very own Randall, just to name a few.
After 14 years, she has decided to make a comeback in 2017. She'll be competing March 2020 at the Arnold, and you can follow her on the road to the Arnold Classic. We'd like to welcome Jennie Worth. Thank you for being on the show today.
No. First and foremost, Jennie, we just want to say thank you so much. And we know you're a busy woman. And to be able to just come in here, share your story on a beautiful Saturday day, we really, really appreciate it. And, you know, our goal is to dive into your mind and into your heart and really, you know, deep dive into your failures, your pain points, your hardships, and go behind the muscle. That is our goal. So if we can just start from your childhood, and then we'll slowly transition into what led you to success today.
Okay. So I grew up in Tallahassee, Florida, born and raised. At 7 years old, as a young little girl, 5 years old, I always watched Mary Lou Retton, and I always said, I want to do that. I want to be an Olympic gymnast. I want to do that. So my mom let me start gymnastics at 7 years old. So from there, I immediately, the first day I went, because I used to do flips in the schoolyard in elementary school. Mm-hmm. Immediately, my first day there, they took me from the beginner class up to the advanced class. And within the first couple months, I was on the team competing.
No way.
So I just had no fear as a little girl. So that's what got me there. So then I now needed to learn skills. So from 7 until I was going into high school, at that point, I split the beam and damaged my butt bone. I fractured
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I couldn't really do much. So I would go to school sitting on a cushion, and from there, my dad walked out and left us. So mom said, "Okay, I don't have money for gymnastics anymore. I have 3 girls I got to raise, so you're gonna have to just give it up." And I was already injured, and I said, "Well, I really wanted to play sports in high school." And my gymnastics coach was like, "You can't do both. Either you're going to be a gymnast or you're going to play sports." Because I wanted to run track, I wanted to do cheerleading, I wanted to play softball, I wanted to do everything. So she said, you have to pick. So at that point, going into the 9th grade, I made the decision to give up gymnastics. I got a job. I started bussing tables at 14.
At 14?
Yeah. Legally, you're not allowed, but one of the girls on the cheerleading squad, they owned a pancake house, so they let me get a job. So I started bussing tables, and I started working at 14 so I could get money to get a car when I turned 16. So, yeah.
So you had it all planned out.
Yeah.
Wow. So after gymnastics, what was the first sport that you transitioned into?
So as a gymnast, I was already in like middle school playing softball and stuff. So as soon as, and cheerleading, for the Y and stuff. So as soon as I got into high school, my mom was really concerned about me because before I quit, I was in the 8th grade, I was doing softball, I was running track, I was doing cheerleading, I was going to gymnastics, I was trying out for the high school cheerleading team. So cheerleading is the first one I went to, and track, because I was fast. I was a sprinter.
Oh, awesome.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so what happened after that? So after high school, then you ended up working a job.
In high school, though, in the 10th grade, so after I quit gymnastics, I started gaining weight. I was like a double D breast. My cheerleading sponsor was like, listen, guys, our cheerleading coach was like, some of you guys are getting a little heavy, and if you go to my aerobics classes, I'll take away demerits because you're late, you talk too much, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. So I went to her aerobics class, and I loved it. And from there, this FSU football player was working out. He goes, do you lift weights? I said, no. He goes, you want me to train you? I said, yeah, I'll do that. So I squatted, and I loved it. I went to the football coach, and I said, I want to be on the weightlifting team. He goes, the weightlifting team? You can't be on the weightlifting team. They don't have women on the weightlifting team. I said, I want to be on the weightlifting team. I want to bench press. I want to clean and jerk. I want to do that. He goes, I'm going to have to go talk to the Florida State Board to see if this is even possible, Jennie. So he went, he came back, and he said, you know what? They're going to let you do it.
No
So
way.
they actually started the Florida women's weightlifting team years ago after me, because I came and there was a bunch of...
So you were the first one.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
And that was at Amos P. Godley?
At Amos P. Godley, yeah.
Got you.
So what did your peers, the girls and the guys, think at that time? I mean, the only female on the weightlifting class?
There was one other girl that was there with me, so there was two of us. Now she's on board with me. So the reason why is because my cheerleading coach, she was a bodybuilder. And back in the day, she was my science teacher. So on her chalkboard was a picture of her doing bodybuilding, the way fitness girls look now. And I just thought it was amazing. I loved it. I was like, man, that's so awesome. I want to look like that. So, they didn't, the guys would get mad because I would go in and we would be beating them. They're like, wait, this girl just came in and beat me. So I did that.
It was their ego, right?
Yeah, it was their ego. For our weight class, it was fun. I always wanted to do stuff that people say you can't do.
Yeah, and you were also the senior homecoming queen?
Yes.
Wow, that's awesome. How do you feel being the athlete of the family? Because oftentimes athletes usually get the stigma of being cocky or being overconfident. How was it growing up for you being athletic?
Ever since I can remember, I was climbing in trees, whatever I could do. My mom used to get mad because I'd run down the grocery store and do flips. But
It's all safety hazard.
Yeah, I never really got given a hard time.
Yeah.
Not even from your dad?
Well, my dad wasn't around. He left when I was around 10, so there was a break between us. But when he was around, up until then, we were close. My grandfather, he played football, so he loved it. So, but other than that, it was just, Jennie acting crazy, doing flips everywhere.
So you were always fixated. Ever since you saw your science teacher, that poster, her in bodybuilding, you're like, that is going to be me.
Yeah.
So so you ended up joining the weightlifting class, and what happened after that?
So I joined the weightlifting team, and initially I wanted to lose weight because I was going through, my high school sweetheart broke up with me, and I was like, okay, I got to get it together. So from there, after I started doing her aerobics classes, every spring break, high school spring break, people go on spring break. We would go to Panama City Beach, and anybody that stayed in my room knew that they were going to have to do an aerobics class before they ate, drank, did anything. So I'd set up coolers, and we would do step aerobics on the coolers.
So you were already leading in a way, just setting up everything, setting people up for success.
Yeah.
Because that's a coach right there.
Yeah.
And everybody listened.
Yeah. So they knew if you're in Jennie's room, we're going to have to do some kind of aerobics before we head to the beach.
That is amazing.
So, yeah, I guess I always just wanted to be some kind of coach or a leader. Like some people dream of being a doctor and a lawyer or whatever. It was a gymnastics coach back then. I was like, I want to be a gymnastics coach. I want to be a coach. And then as life switches and changes, you find different things. And
Absolutely.
then I just always wanted to help people, I guess.
And was college ever in your radar?
No, it wasn't. So directly out of high school, I started competing. I was getting ready for my show my senior year, and then I was going to do, I had started massage school massage
Oh, wow.
therapy. I was going to
Okay.
do that. And then I got stuck into the competing, and I did the certification for back then the aerobics and the personal training. So it wasn't college, but it was, you know, it was a new school college. That's what I wanted to do. So yeah, it never looked like that to me. It always looked like some kind of coaching.
Jennie, can you take us back to your first competition? How was preparation like leading up to the competition?
So my first competition was 1996, and the whole reason how I got into that was I grew up with the guy that lived behind us, and he always saw me doing flips. I had a beam back in the backyard my mom built for me and a set of parallel bars. So he knew I was always doing gymnastics. So he was throwing a bodybuilding competition in Tallahassee, and I used to do bikini competitions with his wife.
Oh,
I used
wow.
to, like at Panama City Beach during spring break, we'd get up there and, you know, bikini competition. So he goes, "Hey, Jen, you want to enter my fitness competition?" I said, "Well, what does that look like?" He goes, "You know, just do like one of your gymnastics routines in like a bikini competition." I was like, "Yeah, why not? I'll do that." I was 17, right? 18,
Yeah.
just turned 18. I'm like, "Yeah, why not? I'll do that." And so I'd already had the magazines, Monica Bryant, Mia Finnegan, Amy Fadley. I had them all over my wall because I wanted a body like them. So my first competition, I did it and I won. And Mia Finnegan, Miss Olympia in 1995, she was there. She did a guest performance. After I saw her, I said, I'm gonna be Miss Olympia. So I
No
said, I'm not
way.
stopping until I get where she's at.
And your mind was set,
And my mind was set.
determined from there. Did you understand at that time for your first competition the mindset, the discipline that it took to get there?
No, because I had, during that part of life, I was transitioning into hanging out with a bad crowd, you know, doing things. I got sidetracked my senior year, and from there, I got an older boyfriend. That's what happened. 25, I was 17, so
Oh,
that was
shoot.
leading me into
The wrong path,
direction
right?
I didn't need to do. And I remember I was driving, and there was a bumper sticker that said, "God allows U-turns." And at that moment, so I'm already DJing, I'm already at the nightclub, and I told these people, I'm like, I'm gonna become an IFBB pro. They're like, ha, yeah, right. You're not gonna do that. I'm like, I'm gonna leave this town and I'm gonna do that. So, you know, I'm in a little town. So after that first show, that motivated me. I did another show, I won. I did another show, I took second. So I had momentum to keep my head together.
You just had to
know?
maintain that.
I had to maintain that. So I remember I was going to the clubs DJing, bringing rice cakes.
How did that happen? How did DJ?
So
Become it.
DJing came about, get this, I was doing aerobics. And so when you do aerobics, there's a count. You have to learn the counts. So the guy that I work with at the Pancake House, his mom was an aerobics instructor, and he was a DJ.
Oh,
So he
shoot.
said, I make all my mom's music. And I said, oh my God, I love your mom's classes. They're the shit. And so he said, hey, you want to come over and see how I do it? So he taught me how to DJ. And I loved it because it's matching beats, because I came from break beats. So
Yeah.
that's when we actually mixed the music. It wasn't just a transition. You had to flow the music with the 1200s and like make a song, another song, make one song. So I loved that.
So it came
And
natural.
It became natural. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. So that's how I got into DJing, was from the aerobics.
Who's one of your biggest influences when it comes to DJing?
So back in the day, because, you know, I'm really not in it anymore, DJ Icy,
Ooh.
he was
Okay.
big. Yeah, because I came from breaks. Jekyll and Hyde were big. And as I got older, when I went to Miami, DJ Irie, he used to do all the Miami Heat games.
Okay.
He actually said, man, this is how I got out of it. He's like, man, Jen, you are an awesome DJ. All you got to do is learn how to scratch. So he gave me
You're set.
a thing for the Scratch Academy, a scholarship to the Scratch Academy, and I went. So, yeah, I love music, and I've always loved music as a little girl.
And that's
So-
awesome how you used your love for music and you implemented the musicality that goes into it to be able to match the beat hitting on your routines. You're very known for having unique routines. In France, you drove a Harley on a tiny stage. You do acrobatics and gymnastics from your gymnastic history. Did you ever think that you'd be learning DJing, music, gymnastics, and it would all go to
together.
bodybuilding.
No, yeah, I never did. So I never thought it was going to come together like that. But I did know, like, whenever I used to make up my routines, I used to go sit in the studio and make it all myself, blend it all. It was like hours and hours. But I always knew that the DJing life and the fitness life didn't match.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to combine them, and that's why I started DJing live classes as Lenny Kravitz and his band were down there doing cardio. You know, as my clients would be doing cardio, I had a spaceship set up, and it was my DJ booth. I knew I needed to intertwine those because the two didn't match. You can't be out working, spinning records at 5 o'clock in the morning and then trying to train people at 5 o'clock. You know, the lifestyles don't match. So how can I intertwine both of these lifestyles to the two things I love, right? It's hard.
Absolutely.
You're on two different spectrums. You're like...
Especially time zones as well. Like,
yeah, so you
staying
can't...
up late.
And then you can't try to reverse and come out of the weekend phase. So
Yeah.
I just really love music, and I knew that, and then especially before I went to Miami, I was spending at late night hours, like after hours. Like I wasn't showing up to spin until 3 o'clock in the morning, you know? So it's like you can't burn the candle on both ends.
Absolutely. So how did training, because from what we researched, Miami Heat players to Lenny Kravitz, how did that come about?
So how that came about was I landed an oxygen cover. So Alex Rodriguez's wife at the time, Cynthia Rodriguez, saw the cover and she goes, I want to look like that girl. And she's in Coral Gables, so I want to train with her.
You specifically?
So, yeah, she wanted to train with me, with Dodd, whoever was training me. She
Mm-hmm.
wanted to look like that. So she came in. So I actually trained her, and Dodd trained Alex, and I would be in the workouts. You know, he was sent, whenever he was at baseball camp, he would fly me out, and I would train his wife. I would do cooking for him.
Damn.
But, yeah, so that's how that came about, just from hitting an oxygen cover. And then from there, she was friends with the Miami Heat players, and I did a lot of the wives, and then the owners.
So how did that make you feel? I mean, looking back as a child and a teenager and being able to see your, how do I say it, your inspirations.
You always knew you were going to be IFBB Pro, but you didn't know that you were going to be personally training celebrity clients. How does that make you feel?
I guess, like, I've never really thought about it, you know?
I mean, because they want to look like you.
Yeah.
They probably have your poster. That is my role model.
I never even really thought about it. But, yeah, I guess that's pretty crazy, you know?
Yeah, that's how life is. Sometimes it goes full circle, and you have to take a step back to really see how far you've come. And, you know, it's beautiful. Can we fast forward a little bit to 2001, leading up to the Arnold Classic, where you took first place?
Yeah. So 2001, this was back when I was, 22? There was a lot of, I was fighting, so back when I gained all that weight in high school, that was the beginning trickles of the thyroid, my thyroid becoming slow. It's a genetic disorder from my mom. So that's what I picked up working out from the beginning, right? I was fighting that, so I was doing so much. This is back before I really had a straight diagnosis, and I was doing like 3 hours of cardio a day, weights 5 days a week, gymnastics practice 3 days a week. It was just a lot, and you know, and the diet was strict, and I remember fighting that, and it's just like, just getting ready for it. And I had a coach at the time, Dodd, and I actually lived with him. I called it the training camp. I lived in the training camp.
Wow.
It was like, you got to get up, you got to do this. So, you know, he was always there to push me, but he always said, you have the motivation to push yourself. So it was just, you don't really know, because you're so in it, you don't really see anything but just that tunnel vision of, I gotta win the Arnold. I gotta get this routine down. I gotta become my best. So you just don't really see anything until, like, you're completely out of it, you know? So it's like, it was a lot of training every day, being pushed, showing up when you don't want to show up. The gymnastics, it was just, you know, a lot of, that's the way a champion mindset is. There wasn't any life. I didn't have a life at that time. I didn't go out to South Beach. I didn't do anything. It was just this.
And how long would you say the preparation is from the time you make that drastic decision to say, I'm going to prep for the Arnold?
So back in the day, I would always take about like a 21-week or a 16-week prep. So you gradually start, because the gymnastics, you have to just stay tunnel vision. About 12 weeks out, it gets real serious. And then from there, it's just like everything else.
And how did you battle your mindset? Like you mentioned earlier, you have those days, you know, when you don't want to get up or you don't want to work out. I mean, think about it. You've been doing it since you were 7 years old.
Yeah, I guess I just would, I call it the procrastination, just sit in the car at the gym first and then get in there. You know, just know that, just go back to, hey, Jen, what about that 5-year-old dream you had? What about that 5-year-old dream you had?
Yeah.
What about all those people that said you were never going to make it? What about, you know, what about making that 5-year-old Jennie proud? Like, what about that? You know, go back to that. Like, are you going to disappoint her? Are you going to live? Once you see a vision, like I saw it. I saw something, you know, I saw it was gymnastics, and then I realized I'm not going to be an Olympic gymnast. As soon the day I met Mia Finnegan, I saw it. I saw me on top. I saw I could do it. So, and the main thing is like you can't stop believing in yourself, because the moment that
That's
you
powerful.
stop believing in yourself is the moment the dream is gone and you're done. And that's what happened in 2003. I just stopped believing. I said, I'm done. I don't believe in this anymore.
So what triggered that?
So it was just like a bunch of things. It was like my coach was not putting the forth in it anymore. Some stuff happened in the backgrounds of, you know, between the coach and the judges. It was just like a bunch of that, and I just thought I was done. You know, I was like, I need to make money now. I was getting all these clients. I was like, I need to do that. And
For you,
so,
basically.
Yeah. So basically, I gave up on the dream, and then I was like, man, I felt like, you know, it was always like, you feel like you could have won. You feel like, you know, you should have. But, you know, I didn't wait it out. I should have waited it out. I should have just kept going with it. But because I felt like he wasn't there anymore at the time, I didn't feel like I could do it by myself. How am I ever going to do this by myself? I need someone pushing me. Like, how am I going to do this? You know, it's just a big life change, you know.
So after 2003, would you say that, because you had hit stardom in 2001, and then you were runner-up in the Olympia, so there was a bright future. 2003 comes along and you decide to take a step back from the limelight. Would you say that when you took a step back, did things start to get dark?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that hard, overcoming or facing?
So when you're on top and like a professional player, like you were this for so long and you showed up to this, and all of a sudden now what? What are you going to do now? That's great. You're training like high-end people. You're doing this, but like now what? All your time and energy and focus has been on just that.
For so many years.
And like how it went down, it was just like hurtful. And I was too young at the time to understand and know, you know, and it was just like, that took me down a deep, dark tunnel, you know. I never drank until I was 26, and I started going to the clubs. I was DJing. I was like in the nightlife, you know, drinking once a week came to twice a week, to 3 times a week, to 4 times a week, to now I'm not even going to drink. I'm just going to sit in the house. So what are you chasing here? Are you chasing, I'm running from what? The fact that I gave up? Was it that? Was it the fact that I knew deep down, wow, I gave up on a dream before? And I totally disconnected myself from any of the fitness magazines, any of the shows. I didn't want to hear about any of it. I disconnected.
Cut it off.
I cut it off. I cut it off completely.
During that time, you stopped training as well?
No, I was still working out.
Okay.
So I did a marathon. I was training my clients. I never stopped working out. That's my love. So my goal then was to get in shape and look good at the clubs. I wanted to look like a South Beach girl. So I was like, did a vegan diet. I was trying to lose muscle. I did a marathon. I was like, I got to lose this muscle. I got to look like those South Beach girls, you know. But, you know, it took me 5 years to lose 5 pounds of muscle. And then, you know, I could embrace the muscle.
Yeah. No,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
Looking back during the time when you took a step back, do you hold any regrets? If you can change anything during that, 14-year gap, what would it be?
I wouldn't change anything.
That's powerful right there.
Yeah. And in the 14-year gap, Dominic came
Because
about.
that's why.
Yeah, exactly. And having a child, I've never had a child, but, you know, people say that the bounce back from that, especially in the fitness realm, is very, very difficult.
Yes.
People hire people like you in order to bounce back from a pregnancy. How was that bounce back like? Because I read that you gained about 85 pounds.
Well, first of all, and Dominic knows the story too. Like you're not meant to be. Like you're not supposed to be here. Like you weren't planned. It was an accident, you know. But the best accident that ever happened to me, and that's what I tell him. I'm honest with him. Like I didn't mean to have you. You're not supposed to be here, but you're the best thing that's ever happened to me. And that's why I wouldn't change any of it for the 14 years, because in that time of me getting lost in the party life, I got him.
You found him.
I found him. You know, God gave me him.
That is,
you know,
very
so
beautiful.
that's what I got out of that. And so from that, the bounce back, like I didn't do any before pictures. Like people are like, before, the pictures you see me before is because someone accidentally took it. I was taking a picture and I didn't think there was an after. I'm like, this is it. I'm stuck like this. You know, so why are we taking a before? What's the after? This is the mom life. You know, I didn't think. I just knew that as soon as I have this baby, I'm going to start working out again because I don't like the way I feel. So, you know, it was a battle. It was like a 5-year battle of trying to get back to where I was, you know, still fighting life, you know, and trying to deal with father, his dad that wasn't a good significant other, you know, abusive, stuff like that. So I'm trying to get through that and trying to get my body back. So
was that hard overcoming during that time frame, especially everything that you were going through during that 14-year gap, to having Dominic, to going through that, you know, relationship? Was it hard to pull away, especially knowing everything that you had overcome?
To be honest with you, I just put those glasses on and I just go through the tunnel. And that's what I guess I've always done in life. It's just like, why are you gonna not make it unless you die? You know, but I'm gonna die trying. It's just like a tunnel vision, I guess. And it's just like go, 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 and don't let anything sidetrack you of what your mission is. Just like put the tunnel vision on and just go till you get there.
And throughout this whole time, did you have a mentor to turn to? Was there one specific person that you always knew you could turn to kind of give you direction, or did you rely on yourself?
So because of the way that with my main mentor ended, like when I wanted him to be there for me about, should I have this baby? What should I do? Should I leave Miami because he's being abusive? Should I leave? Should I stay? He wasn't there for me. So that hurt me too. You know, so we reconnected in the last 2 years, but I didn't have anybody. I had my sister there, yes, you know, so it was like, damn, first in my life, I'm like, Jen, you're going to have to figure this out on your own.
So you
like,
felt alone.
Yeah. You're going to have to figure this out on your own. Like, what are you going to do?
And during that time, was that Milos?
That was
so
Dodd.
No,
that was Dodd?
That was Dodd,
okay.
Yeah. So it was kind of like, you're not a little girl anymore. Like, you went from living at your mom's house, you know, to having her to tell you what to do or have her ask her questions, to Dodd, to now what? Like, now you're on your own. Like, this is your first, like, not having someone help you out. But sometimes you need to find yourself in order to figure out where you're going to go in life. Can't always rely on someone else's words to pull you through.
So on Instagram, I saw the transformation picture that you posted. It was you with Dominic. And then right under it was the transformation of what you look like today. They look like two different people. You would not believe it. You said it was a 5-year period of making that transformation.
So, yeah, 5 years for the skin to suck back down tight to see if it was even possible to compete. You know, it's like, that's great. You lost weight, but now you have this loose skin, you know.
So what did you do?
So the body, you know, it's like a rubber band. The skin, it'll go back so many times, but as long as you're not doing this yo-yo effect, you know, it'll go back. Lifting weights tightens the skin. So I started lifting heavy weights where I wasn't doing before. I always tell people there's a cream, it's called epoxyderm. That's what brought me out of retirement, because I was putting it on my breast because it's for skin tightening.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, no diet could to tighten the skin, you know.
Yeah.
I started putting it there, and the skin got tight enough for me to put on a suit, because that was my main thing. I can't compete until I have a lift and new implant. So I just kept at it, you know, just kept doing. That's when I started doing abs every day, because I noticed after I did abs, the skin got tight because the muscles pumped up. So anybody with loose skin, yeah. I honestly, it was a question being talked about in 2011 with my friend when I did a guest performance. But I honestly didn't know if the skin was going to get there. I just didn't know if it was going to get tight enough to actually stand a chance.
But you still had your eyes set on competing one day again.
Well, on it, I thought I was going to have to get my breasts redone first. So what happened was I was always going to the national shows and the local shows got a lot of competitors in them. And so first and foremost, I wanted to see if I could perform, how let me see if I can get the body down. Because the guest performances I did in 2011 and 12, I really didn't get focused on the dieting and getting the body down. So I said, and at the time, my boyfriend was a competitor. I was like, let me just show you how to do this real quick. I'll do it with you, show you, like it ain't that hard,
Yeah.
So I did everything with him, and I said, you know what? Let me ask John Lindsay and Tamer if I could do a guest performance at the muscle contest, see where I stand. So I did that, and I wasn't even thinking about competing until these got redone. And then I saw the cream tightening them up, so I knew that was a good sign. I saw Tim Gardner at the Nationals. He goes, why don't you do the Tampa in 2 weeks? Or 3, whenever it was. I said, I don't have a routine. I only have the one I did with the piano with him playing. He goes, oh, that's weird because there's a piano in Tampa at the ballroom. And I was like, okay, well, it's not really a fitness routine. It's really slow. And he goes, just bring it, Jen. So because I took third next to the girls that took top 3 at the Olympia, I'm like, well, why don't I just see how far I can take this? So my main thing was just seeing if because my routines aren't as hard as they used to be.
Right.
From that moment on, they said, make it a little more energetic. That's when I started saying, okay, let me see how much my back can take because I have back problems now.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I said, I'm just going to just see how far I can take this.
You just went all in.
So I went all in of what I can for the back. And so, yeah, now I won the Tampa. I came out and won the Tampa, amped the routine up, came back and won it again. So it's like, and I got more in me. So
that is incredible. Does your son Dominic understand who his mom is?
Fitness legend.
You know what? I don't know, but I really wanted him to. I took him to the Olympia with me. He was at the press conference. I'm like, hey, Dominic. It's like, I don't
He's
really
just like,
think
Mom,
he knows
just...
he appreciates it.
He probably doesn't understand
I wanted you to
it.
be so much different with this. But
that's pretty funny.
Yeah, so I'm not even really sure if he understands or...
Has he ever seen posters of you or anything?
Yeah, so when we were at the Olympia, we had people asking for his autograph too because he was my son.
Yeah.
So I think maybe he kind of saw it or maybe it's normal to him. I don't really know. But yeah.
No, that is amazing.
Crazy.
Jennie, so off topic, we have a game that we like to play here at the Unbreakables podcast. It is a magical deck, and what we do is you're going to pick out 2 cards. It's going to ask you some deep questions, and we just want some honest answers.
It's not us. The deck is asking, okay? So you can select 2. There you go. Okay. If you can, just read out the 2 questions. Or you can go 1 question at a time.
Okay, scene in a park.
Oh, the back. I'm sorry.
How did you bounce back?
Ooh, that's a good question.
So from which one? From which trauma in my life? I guess it's always just believing in myself and knowing that I could do it and just not stopping, just like all I can really say is believing in yourself. I always love to prove people wrong, and always there are people who are telling me, you can't do that, you'll never do that, you're a has-been, you'll never make it again, you're too old. I'm like, really? You want me to show you? So I just feel like it's just believing in yourself. If you just truly believe it and with no doubt at all, then you can make it happen. I'm not going to believe I'm going to be a pilot because that's not what I want to do. But, if you truly believe in something, then I feel like you can make it happen. But you have to stay dedicated to that dream and that belief and just go for it. And that's how I've always bounced back. It's just knowing that I'll get through this. I have God on my side and I'll get through it. Just you'll get through it. At the end, you'll get through it.
That is awesome. And then for question 2.
What habits have you created? So I've created habits to live a healthy lifestyle. At the end of the day, we all want to go to something, you know, and that's the thing about competing is it keeps you, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do anything. Okay. I'm within my thoughts. I'm within my emotions, and I can't exit them. I'm not going to use alcohol to get away. Before I've done that, I've used food to escape. I've used other sources to escape of what really is going on. So the habits I've created is just healthy habits, live within trying to conquer who you are inside. And it's a habit. It's a habit to wake up every day and work out. As soon as you don't do it, you get out of habit. It's a habit to eat clean. That's why I try to preach to my clients, like, it's a habit. The longer you do it, it becomes a habit. If it's a habit, you're going to pick up a cigarette and smoke it because it's a habit.
Right.
You know, if you quit, but you have to break the habit, you know, and that's why I always tell people, even when they start, we have a 21-day jump start. It's a habit. You know, you have to break those habits. And that's what we all live by. It's like, are you going to have good habits or are you going to have bad habits? So you try to, as I've gotten older, it's like, okay, you do a show and then you stay in your habits. You don't just stop working out.
Steer off or be like, I reached this far and now I could unwind. I
was working out before. You know, why would I just stop? Why would I start eating Krispy Kreme every day when I wasn't showing up to Krispy Kreme before?
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? An everyday thing. Yeah, once a month, or if you want to have a cheat meal. But that's why I tell people, why would you go back to something if it wasn't a habit? You broke that habit. If you had it, the habit was broken. So why'd you go back to it? Now you're going to have to break it again. So I just tell people, especially in the eating healthy and the lifestyle, and create habits. Create habits in your workplace. Create habits with your family. Try to get them aboard with your good habits, and try to keep good habits. We all have habits, you know.
So it's being able to establish those daily rituals, which eventually turn into daily habits.
Yes. That
is deep. Now I need to ask you, what is your cheat meal? What does a cheat meal look like for you?
And
how often?
After a show, I'll binge for like 3 days, eat whatever I want, try to get everything out. But to be honest with you, like when I'm on it, like a cheat meal for me looks like a lot of granola. I love granola. I'll do the Krispy Kreme, you know, burger and fries.
Ooh,
but
so
for me, since I'm so healthy, cheat meal would be like making my healthy lasagna. Eating something, because I've been competing now since 2017, so it's been like fish and asparagus.
All the protein, right?
Yeah. So I try to just not go to, because that'll break the habit.
Right.
You know, so I try to keep it in a healthy manner, because I want to have abs every day of the year. So that doesn't look like me showing up to a bunch of unhealthy stuff. But I love pizza and donuts and burgers if we're going unhealthy with it.
Awesome. And Jennie, for anyone at home who is new to the fitness game, how long should it generally take for them to see some results? Because as human beings, we always want results very fast, but you know, we need to learn patience. Patience is a virtue. How long should our viewers at home expect to see results if they're doing it the right way with a personal trainer?
So you can see results within a week. You're going to lose water weight. But if you want to see results within your lifestyle, you have to give your lifestyle habit change a good 3 months. So then what happens is that 3 months becomes your new life. And after that becomes the habit. So you can't expect, you will see a change. Usually people see a change in the first month, you know, but they need to stick within those habits. Depends on how much they have to lose, you know, what is their goals, but always immediately you'll see results. But what I try to teach people is the lifestyle, because you're not going to last on a diet or a fad. The keto diet, that's not real. Are you going to never eat a carb for the rest of your life? I mean, think about that.
It's not realistic.
It's not realistic. And half of you guys are saying you're on the keto diet, you're out drinking beer and wine. That's carbs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're lying to yourself.
Very true.
Look in the mirror. You're lying to yourself. And that's what half people do. They don't want to admit it to themselves. And that's what I tell my clients. Like, look, you're not lying to me. You can lie to me all you want. Look in the mirror. You're lying to yourself.
How do they react to that? Especially, so you're brutally honest.
Yeah. It's like, they just look at me, you know. Sometimes it's like, but that's why all my people get results. It's because they know I demand results.
So
if I'm doing it, I'm expecting you to do it too. Like, I'm not a trainer that's just blowing the whistle. Let's go. No, I'm doing it. Follow me. Let's do it together.
And that's a leader right there.
That's why I don't like to fall off the deep end. I'm not preaching. Why are we having a gym party with pizza at it? we are not preaching that. Why are we doing that? You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with trainers and like, why are you telling him not to drink beer and eat pizza, but yet you're doing it? That doesn't make sense. You need to practice what you preach. How do you expect someone to listen to you? I'm not going to listen to someone that's telling me to do something and they're not doing it. You know?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like,
It's all actions too.
that's the way I am. So I need to show my clients, and they're my motivation is like, I need to show them how it's done. Like, they're looking up to me. Like, why am I going to go eat donuts when I'm telling them not to? You know, so it's kind of like, this is how it looks to live the lifestyle.
Yeah, that's interesting because you took fitness, but you're also shaping character. And a lot of times people don't think long term. They think, you know what, for the next 3 months I'll be doing this, but what happens after the 3 months? So that's very, very interesting.
Absolutely. So I need to ask you, out of all the personal trainers, all the coaches out there, why Milos?
Okay, so why Milos?
We got to get into the juice. He's a legend. Come on.
Because back in the day, me and Dodd used to train. He goes, one person, Dodd has his same structure, same style.
Okay.
You know, he got it from him. He said, if I was to have anybody or train with anybody, it would be with Milos. And Milos is the type of person that he's not there to babysit. He's not there to babysit you. And the moment I reached out to him, he said, listen, I'm not here to babysit you. I'm not going to put up with, I said, I don't need no babysitter. I'm here with you because I don't need nobody counting my reps. I need someone, I knew I needed to grow out my back, and it looked like him pushing me. So him training the way I train my clients, because we're all in the same realm of how we train.
Right.
Giant sets, supersets, and that's how I got it from Dodd. So even people are like, why are we lifting all this weight, even if you're helping me? Because it's still forcing the muscle to grow.
Right.
You know, so I knew that he was the one that was going to get my back to grow out, and I knew his style of training, and I know it works, and his philosophy, and he's the mind.
Absolutely.
So that's why I went to him, because I knew that we were going to get there if I had him.
Was it hard, or did he say yes immediately?
No, he said yes immediately for a pretty price. So yeah, he just said, you know, that's why he didn't want a babysitter. I was like, I don't need one. And he was gone for a while, so he wasn't around. As soon as I saw he was back, I'm like, oh my God, Milos is around here. I'm definitely in.
And the price is definitely worth
Yeah,
it. I
for
mean,
sure.
2018, 2019 Tampa Pro Champ. How did that feel like?
Man, so like you just never know, because I don't watch the other girls' routines, so I have no idea what's gonna happen. And now since the scoring is 25-75, someone that places dead last in the body round could still come out and get third place, you know, if the routine wins by points. So you just never know what you're getting into if you don't watch the other girls' routines, because you don't really know how they showed up for the day. So it's always just like a surprise and a blessing, you know. It's always just like, did I bring my A game? Was I on point? You know. So it's honestly, it's a blessing, and I feel honored. And this time I can just sit back and appreciate myself, because last time I didn't, it was like, oh, we gotta hurry up. You know, I didn't appreciate it. It's like, just like appreciate it and enjoy it, and soaking in every moment, backstage, the people, you know, just kind of like letting it all absorb, because at the end of the day, it's not going to last forever.
And I'm sure it flies by.
And it flies by, and I see the younger girls like not appreciating it. It's like, appreciate it, because it's not going to be there forever.
And what advice would you give that young girl or that young man that is intrigued or interested in competing, maybe starting now? Like, what advice would you give them?
The advice I would give them is be patient, because Rome wasn't built overnight, and you're not going to build a body overnight. It's not going to work like that. You have to know that it's going to take time, and it depends on where you're coming from. So just keep chipping away. Just keep building and chipping, building and chipping, building and chipping, because, you know, a structure of a building takes a while to build. You know, but once it's there, you can keep changing it within the inside. You know, oh, we got this done, now we can do this, but the structure's there. So, and just keep at it, because anything in life, if you stop working at it, nothing's going to happen. So don't expect change if you're not working on it daily, weekly. You know, you have to infuse yourself with, okay, I'm going to work on just a little bit today, you know. Focus on it, envision it, see yourself doing it. And
Power of visualization.
So Jennie, we do have to ask you, what is next for you? Because 2018, 2019 Tampa Pro, we know the Arnold Classic is coming up in March 2020. Can we expect you at that?
Yes, that's the goal. So we always have to put in an invite. It's because it's invite only. In 2017, I put one in for 18 and they denied it. They said, even though you're a winner, like you don't have enough stats under you. But last year they sent me one, so I was like, oh man, life didn't show up that way. So if my health is good and everything is good, I'm putting in for the invite. And I would like to say 19 years later, I got to show back up to the Arnold and compete the Arnold. And, we all have a chance to win it. Who says I can't win it? Who says that she can't win it either? But that is a possibility.
And like you said, it all starts with your mind.
And it all starts with your mind. So, yeah, knowing that the Olympia, I didn't bring my best. I got the flu. I didn't get the elements added in. The routine wasn't as good as it could have been. So imagine if you would bring some wow to the stage.
Of course.
What if? Who says you can't come back and win it at 42?
Of course, of course. And Jennie, I will tell you, I think it's beautiful throughout the whole story. You've had mentorship from Dodd to when Dodd transitioned out, you had your boyfriend at the time to really help you bounce back from the 5-year transformation to Milos. Anyone at home, if you're looking for mentorship, I highly recommend Think Big, Work Small. It's a mastermind with David Albanese. It's very important that you find a mentor. If you hang out with the wrong crowd, you will get slowed down. As you heard in Jennie's story, she was hanging out with the wrong crowd in high school, and she had to make a decision. You know what? Either be a champ or follow the herd. If you have a dream but you don't have capital, think big, work small. He's looking to invest in people. Again, that's think big, work small.
Absolutely. So, Jennie Worth, who are your top 3 influencers?
So my top influencers in life, one of them will always be Dodd, because he's still 55 years old and he lives the life. He preaches the life. He does the life. He's in it. Another one would be as far as business. I've Amber. Her name is Amber, and she has been a very big mentor of mine as far as business.
Okay.
So it's just different avenues and Milos, because he's so knowledgeable, and every time I go train with him, that's information in my bank. That's knowledge to my clients. That takes me up as a trainer. It may not be a school, but it's how schools get programs. It's from people like him. They're using his programs. Certifications weren't around forever. They're using the people that made it. The Arnold, like the Arnold presses. They made it. Someone made it. He's one of the makers of everything. So I just have a lot of influences. Just depends on.
Do you believe that anybody can make it to competition without a personal trainer or a coach?
I believe you can make it there, but you may not be your best. Like I made it in the beginning with no one. That's how I started. It was just like what I thought was good. But as soon as I got a mentor is when
everything changed, because now it's like, it's kind of like trying to fix a car, but you don't know how to fix it, and you keep trying, but yet you're fixing it, but yet it's still not running like it should. So you hire someone and you're like, wow, okay. So with anything, just if anybody can help give you knowledge and fix you or fix something and make you better, why not hire them, And it's always good to have someone, especially someone that is when you're competing, that's why I will still have Milos, because you can't see. You get like a foggy brain. You don't know do you look good or do you not look good? Sometimes you look in the mirror, it looks like I never worked out a day in my life. There's a lot of head games. Yeah. So it's always someone to an extra eye. Once you get it down, the competing the first couple of times, I always say keep a coach, because they're going to be the voice that keeps you out of your head. Because you'll get in your head. You'll try to talk yourself out of it. I'm not doing this. I don't look good enough. Oh, what about the other? Now you got social media. You get stuck looking at those people, and you get in your head, and you're like, oh, I can't do this. So you just kind of have that voice to keep you in reality grounded. That's amazing.
That's interesting. And I love what you touched base on with mentorship, because it's a quick download that you're getting. All the books that Milos read, all the experience that he went through, you just downloaded everything from him in a short period of time, rather than trying to figure it out on your own. So I condone you on that for really just tackling a mentor, getting that. I do have to ask you, what is next for you? I mean, Worth It Fitness, you're the warrior itself. What do you have next? You've done so much in your career.
So I always feel like I'm not doing enough. I could be better, and like to offer more. That's the problem I have. I mean, I could do online, but like this is so time consuming. We're going to be working on set programs, ab programs, shoulder programs. So it's not, I'm not micromanaging anyone,
Right,
but if
right.
they want to know a 7-week program to sexy shoulders, that how I got them, they could take it and do it. Or they want to know the ab workouts that I do. And this is nothing I'm getting from a book. This is literally what I've been doing for my life.
All your
What
experience.
works, all my experiences. You know how many recipes I keep saying I'm going to do this recipe book? Like, it's about time, Jen. You know, it's been a decade now. I started writing them all down because the thing is, the recipes are here. Nowhere but in this mind.
Yeah.
You know, so I got to write them down. I got to wait, you know. So that started. I had those. And I really want to focus on the jump, the Genergy jump. You know, I want people keep asking, like, how can we do that at our house? How can we do that? So I'm trying to build up a program and get it certified so people know Genergy jump, like that's her style, like that's the way she does it. There's a structure to it. I have an aerobic background. There's a structure to it. There's a warm up. There's a certain way, and you know, because people are branching out now, doing all kinds of jumps. So I want to create this program, and that people can have these, just take it and go. Like, you don't want it, because half the battle is I've been doing this for a decade, and Violet introduced me to the jump boots. Believe it or not.
Wow.
That's how I got introduced to the jump boots. And the moment she goes, I knew someone that's perfect for this. The moment I put them on, I fell in love with them. Not only can I be tall, not only do they not make my back pain go away, because it's 80% less impact. So, and I can dance too. And like, I used to make up dances as a little girl all the time. Now I can dance and listen to music.
All
and
in
have
one.
fun.
And work
DJ at the
out.
same time, scratch.
So the goal is to make my own, like, DJ the mixes together so we can have a set class. But, you know, it's so time consuming.
That's
it's
pretty
like,
awesome. You got to delegate that, man. So for our audience that is watching, for those that do not know what the jump class is, can you elaborate a little further? Just
So,
if they're interested.
The jump class is, I personally use the Kango jumps. They are rebound shoes. They were created for people with knee and back problems. So they take away 80% of all impact, while at the same time, it's like having 2.5-pound ankle weights on each foot. So it's a core workout. It forces you to hold your core up straight, because if you lean forward, you won't get the jump. You're always doing abs because you have them on. It reduces cellulite. Rebounding is a proven fact that it helps stress. It's a facelift. There's so many proven facts from it that I got into after just the fact of loving it. So it's a class that it burns over usually double the calories. You're having fun, and we do basic moves, higher moves. You're kind of like doing a dance class, but I keep it basic so you're not lost in the mix. I break everything down for you. I call all the moves out. You'll get used to the lingo, the Genergy lingo. You'll know the moves. We have our own little dictionary. And yeah.
That's next, guys. Her own little dictionary.
Urban Dictionary.
So it's a blast, and it's a great way to work out, especially if you have, like, I can't do plyometric work anymore because of my back and my broken feet and my busted up knee and all these injuries. So I can jump all day though, you know, and have fun. So yeah, people want to get into it. It's for all fitness levels. You don't have to worry about your fitness level. You can go at your own pace. You'll learn the moves. You'll get used to it, and I promise you will love it. Everybody's always scared in the beginning. They're like, I don't want to do it. That looks weird. As soon as they put them on, they're like, can I buy a pair? I'm like, I told you, you've been waiting for too long now.
Guys, I could attest to this because I am one of those people. I actually took her class, and at first I'm like, what the heck is this? But it was an amazing, intense workout. And I highly, highly, highly recommend it. She will kick your ass. I'm not even joking. But bring long socks if you guys come. And right? She lent me a pair. Shout out now. But okay, so if someone is interested in taking your class or even getting trained by you, one, how can they connect with you? Two, where can the class be taken? How many times a day?
So the best way is social media.
Okay.
That's where everybody's connected now at Worth It Fitness. I do have a website, worthitfitness.com, and that usually goes into my email. They can always email me. The classes, we run classes Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Okay.
Personal training is Monday through Friday, And then that time is just upon request if they want what time they're looking for. So yeah, the spots are usually always limited, so they want to get in if they want to get something. Competition prep is they could just do a diet with me, but that just depends on where they're at. That's another price. They just wanted to get overlooked for that. So it's just usually the best way to get in contact with me is probably through Facebook, Instagram, or email.
There you guys have it. Follow Jennie Worth at worthitfitness.com. Get on one of her programs. She looks phenomenal. Her transformation's amazing. Make sure to follow her on Instagram. Very motivational stuff.
Absolutely.
Follow us at the Unbreakables podcast. Follow us on Facebook at jmergs and Gift the Poet. Follow myself at _Gift the Poet _ on Instagram. And we just want to say, Jennie, thank you so much for coming on our show today. You've been so humble and vulnerable to share with us your whole story. And I know there's still so much more, so maybe we can get you on for a part 2.
Part 2.
After you win the Arnold. I believe in you so much, and I know that you're going to take gold.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And guys, do not let the muscles fool you. She's really soft in the inside, and it was honestly a true pleasure, a true honor, and there's so much to know about you. There's so many accomplishments that you've done in your life, and you should be very, very proud. I'm certain your son is proud. We commend you, and we just want to commend you on our platform. And any of you guys that are watching, if this message resonated with any of you, any of her hardships, any of her hard times, you guys, I'm sure she is a DM away. Feel free to connect with her. If you guys have any fitness, any meal prep questions, or her Kangoo jump boots, contact her if you guys have any questions for us. We are available on all platforms, and you guys, thank you again. Like it, share it.
I am unbreakable.